What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Andrew.
I'm Carol.
And we are Wicked Overland. Today we're going to be
installing my allpro sliders on my 4Runner. It's a 2018 SR5 Premium. Bought it 2 years ago, and this is my first actual mod.
It's really not. We already have a bunch of stuff done to it. We're going to be putting these allpro Apex sliders on with the filler plates that she picked up from allpro. And they're pretty easy to install, so we've got a very small tool.
I paid the extra money for the bolt-on and powder coating. We have
just 20 bolts to put in, so you just need a couple tools. Let's go check those out and we'll get started. Alright guys, we have some prep work to do. So first, on top of the tools I just noted, we need to have a floor jack. A couple people always helps, and our option is to do some fluid film as well as some brake fluid cleaner. And there's a couple reasons why. One, fluid film, we live in Maine, the road salts are nasty, so we're gonna put the fluid film between the bracket of the slider and the frame of the truck to prevent any further rusting or future rusting down the road. The brake cleaner, the bolts actually attach to the frame. The frame already has the nuts in them. We gotta clean those up. Alright, so the driver's side I believe has 11 of the 20 bolts to install. The passenger side has 9 of the remaining bolts to install. So what Carol just did is she cleaned out all the holes with the nuts in them, blow out all the road grime dust, that way the threads are clean when you install these. So we're just making sure that we have all the crap out of those little nuts, and I'll show you what one of those holes looks like. They're pretty obvious when you're looking on the frame. If you have the KDSS system, you're gonna have to remove a few extra clips, the skid plate to the KDSS module, to get that out of the way. They'll go back after the install. However, we do not have that system because we only have an SR5, so we don't have that system on this 4Runner, so we don't have to worry about it. So everything should just mount up and bolt into place. A little simpler than the KDSS system. Alright guys, if you notice, this right here is just a hole. This looks like it's a little bit more occluded, same size. That's the nut on the other side. It still has a little bit of crap in it. So that's what we're trying to clean out, is the road grime at the very entrance of this hole. There should be 11 or 12 of them on each side. We're only going to use 11 on the driver's side, 9 on the passenger.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I think it's like 20. Hey guys, so now it's time to line up the slider with the truck. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a floor jack. My suggestion is to use something to protect your slider so you don't scratch it. I'm just using a piece of the styrofoam that came with the slider. And then we'll line it up and see where the bolts fit and make sure everything is working in the right manner. Alright guys, so I'm going to get this ready to align it. So this is where you're going to want, that piece to protect your powder coating or rhino lining, whichever you have done. This is where the second person comes into hand.
Alright, so at this point, all we're doing is trying to line up the holes and the sliders in the right position. Once we have it lined up, we're going to try to thread in a couple bolts on each side to hold it in place.
You're too high.
Too high?
Yeah, you're high. Okay. You need to look at the front and align it. Set bring it down, please. I think this needs to go forward more.
So, guide it, drop it. Alright. You can just let it go. Alright guys, so we just did a pre-alignment. We don't have the KDSS system, so I wasn't sure what we needed to remove. However, there is one bracket, and it is right here. We need to remove this for this bolt here. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to fluid film the back sides of these plates and a little bit on the frame. We're going to put this back into position and bolt it all in. That bolt is a 12mm bolt. Set that bolt aside, pop out the bracket, pull it back a little bit because we're going to put this brace up underneath. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to use some fluid film. We're going to give it a little squirt on the back, a little squirt on the frame. We should be all set. So we're using this fluid film. You can pick it up pretty much anywhere. I got this at Lowe's for 10 bucks. They sell a gallon for 42 at Napa. But I like these cans because they're nice for the little touch-up spots.
Can we get this one?
Get your back. So it's a little bit greasy, but it's well worth doing now and then keeping it touched up throughout the year. Now we're going to realign and install. This time we're going to actually use all the parts to it.
Hold on, hold on.
Should be good for you.
Are we doing
Yep, everything is. You're going to take the bolt, take a lock washer, take a flat washer,
Wait.
just like that, into the frame.
What's it? Flat and then lock. Lock and then flat. Okay, so these are all
Right.
those backwards. Okay.
And those should be a 13mm. And when you install these, each hole has a groove, so you can adjust it forward and backwards about a ½ inch either way. So I get them all put in, snug but not firm, so you can make fine adjustments on where you really want this to sit, and then tighten everything up. The torque we're going to go for is 29 foot-pounds of torque. At this time I'm going to be reinstalling the emergency brake cable bracket into the slider. So this is going to go over the slider. Alright guys, we just got the thing lined up and fine adjustments. We took it down, we found we had one bracket to remove, which I showed you guys earlier. We removed that, we took the fluid film to it, and we put it back in place. So now what we're doing is we're just putting all the bolts into the 11 holes on this side. The one bracket we removed, we reused the new bolt from our kit to put that emergency brake bracket in place. and we'll just get rid of the old bolt. So we're just tightening these up now. Again, you don't need to tighten these up wicked tight right off the bat, because we're going to make fine adjustments back and front just to make getting in and out more natural. There we go. They're starting to go in nice and easy. Now we've learned that, so the front went in pretty easy. She's got them all snug and somewhat tight, but still adjustable enough. So the back here, the back we have a couple in, like this one, and we have this one in, but we can't get one of the ones behind this bar. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the floor jack and we're going to push up against this piece here. It sits below the frame. So we're going to push this up to align the hole that's behind this bar. Just kind of right there. And what that'll do is it'll give us just enough clearance to be able to feed that in and put the rest of the bolts in. Alright guys, so now we've got the sliders in place.
Do we have an extender?
They've lined up well. What we did is we cut the difference between the, wannabe mud flap piece here and the back of the slider. Kind of made a nice gap, so we lined it up there. We did the same thing on the front. And so there's the front where the fender flare comes down to the start of the slider here. So we cut the difference, put them in place, and now she is just tightening them all up to 29 foot-pounds of torque is what was recommended from allpro.
Their second side would be done.
Round 2, passenger side. Pretty much same setup. We're going to get this in place. We're going to check to make sure there's nothing we need to remove, like the last one had a small bracket. We do not have the KDSS system, so if you have that, there may be further nuts and bolts to remove, but we don't have to worry about it, so I can't show you what to remove. We don't have it.
Hey guys, I'm about to do repeat clean, and we do have that same brake bracket on this side as we did on the other side. So we'll take that off, line it all up. We'll do the same repeat, spray with the protection, and hold it in place. Alright, 12mm socket. Let's get this job done. Hey guys, so now we're getting ready to align it. Then we'll fluid film, and then we'll put it in place for good. Let's go in. Roll the screen. We're going to do that back.
Just a reminder, it's a 13mm bolt for the factory supplied bolts.
It's getting hot in her. Okay, so this is gonna start really hard. You know, I'm a girl, gotta use both arms, but it's pretty snug. After a little bit, it'll get going pretty easy. This should happen on every bolt that you put in. There we go. Now it's starting to give.
Alright guys, we are done the install. I didn't do much. Carol did everything. She's hot, sweaty, and dirty. Men's most dreams. So she's gonna go clean up.
Look at this.
She's gonna go clean up. I'm gonna show you guys just kind of the finished product. It fits amazing. It's a clean install. So far my recommendations is this is a great slider. I have C4 on my Tacoma. She went with the allpro for price, the fact that it came powder coated. They were bolt-on, so
And
I'm excited to try these out and get them on the trail, put them to the test, see if they actually hold up. Alright, so once again it is finally in. Some key points of why we went with the Apex, the allpro slider, is for the top plate. That was a solid fill-in top plate, and the bump out for trail protection. We have a 4-year-old, so it's going to help him get in and out of the vehicle a little bit easier, and we don't have to worry about his little feet falling in between the bars of the typical slider.